Let's hear it. I'm Paliaseno, stranger. This is Hla Owad. You're either a fisherman or a sailor in the Bitter Coast region, or a smuggler. We don't get many pilgrims or tourists here. Are you looking for someone in particular? Are you looking for services? Is there some specific place you'd like to visit? This is just a little fishing village on the Bitter Coast. A rough track along the River Odai connects Hla Ode with the town of Balmora, across the hills to the northeast. And you can get a ship to Gnar Mok or Ebonheart. Otherwise, it's a very long and unpleasant walk along the coast south to Seda Neen, or a much longer and more unpleasant walk north to nowhere.
So what do you want? I'm a miner in the Shulk egg mine, but I'm just out here taking a break. I'm just an egg miner. At first, it seemed the fuss about the Nerevarine prophecy was just silly superstition. Then I learned that the Dunmer have been waiting for Lord Nerevar to come back for centuries. The Incarnate, they call it. Every few years, an Ashlander appears, and the tribes call him the Incarnate. Then the temple goes out, hunts him down, and reveals him as a fake. Why does the temple worry so much about it? Kwama foragers and warriors won't attack us, since they're used to our smell, but they attack intruders. And you smell like an intruder, but don't worry, the queen squirts out foragers and warriors like seeds. If the foragers and warriors bother you, kill them or run past, whichever is easier. But do us a favor, and don't kill the workers. They won't bother you, and we need them to keep the queen laying and the eggs ripening.
Sorry, stranger, my time is short, so get on with it.
Ravir knows why you are here. You want to buy Ravir's famous Daedric weapons. What? You say these are not Daedric weapons? No, you are right, but Ravir is no liar. When you wish it, Ravir's fiend, demon, and devil weapons will be as sharp as fine Daedric and as light as a Netcher sack. The magic lasts a short time, but long enough to punch through the toughest armor. Ravir buys them direct from the Telvanni. You'll not find any cheaper in all Balmora. Balmora is the council seat of Great House Hlaalu, and the largest town on Vvardenfell, except for Vivek City. Located on the Odai River, and sitting astride the Ealdrune Vivek Road, Balmora is an important mercantile trade and travel center. Hightown is the administrative center, with the temple and manor houses. The shops, guilds, and trade houses of the commercial district are north of the river. Labor Town's modest corner clubs and homes are south of the river. South Wall is a working-class corner club in Balmora, east of Odai River, on the south end of Labor Street, owned by Bacola Cushius. Why do you approach?
Hello, friend. I'm Claudius Clandler. Welcome to Balmora. If you have a question, I'll be happy to answer it. Or try, anyway. And if it's just a little advice you'd like, that's fine, too.
Anytime. What was that?
Greetings, citizen. I'm welcome to Balmora. We're a house, Hlalu town, and loyal citizens of the Empire. What can I do for you? If you want to talk to a smith about his trade, talk to Garoth McGrolmazdub. He is not a master smith, but he's well-spoken, friendly, and knows a lot about smithing in Morrowind.
This better be important.
What do you want? We are the dark-skinned, red-eyed, elven people of Morrowind. The Westerners call us Dark Elves, but we prefer to call ourselves Dunmer. I am Landris Balal, sorcerer. I am a sorcerer. Through my mastery of special disciplines of the College of Conjuration and my private studies of the Outer Realms and their powers and principalities, I have learned to summon and command their denizens to do my bidding. I do these things for coin, or to suit my own interests. I also am an enchanter, enchanting items for my own use and for the use of others. My skill with enchantments also makes me more efficient in using enchanted items that I collect on my research expeditions.
Hello, I'm Satilda and this is Balmora. I don't believe we've met. Is there something I can do for you? I'm Sotilda. I do a little of this, a little of that. It's not bad enough with the blight storms this year, but the Ashlanders are also going crazy, jumping caravans and pilgrims raiding villages, scrapping with the legions. They ought to send the legions out and teach them a lesson. I'm Sotilda. I do a little of this, a little of that. That old sugar tooth, I'm not sure where he's living now, but ask Bacola Closius, the owner. He'll know. Bacola Closius? He's the owner. He must be around here somewhere. Don't press your luck. You're on your honor. Well now, you're back again. And what can I do for you this? Keep it up if you really want to make me mad. Go ahead, I am listening. I will not yield on this. Keep it up and see how much. Get lost. Get lost.
Good day, I'm Bacola Closius, publican of the South Wall here in Balmora. We rent beds, and I have a limited selection of goods for barter. If you're new here, I can also tell you where to look for other services or a specific place nearby. If you're looking for someone in particular, I may be able to help. Old Caius rents a little bed and basket just up the hill on the north edge of town. Go out the front door, not the upper door to the terrace, then right up the stairs, then left at the top of the stairs, and down to the end of the street. An outlander is anyone born and raised outside of Morrowind. Most Dunmer think anyone who isn't a native-born Dunmer is an outlander. Dunmer with Western words and ways are also immediately identified as outlanders. Dunmer are very sensitive to accents, clothes, and manners in Morrowind. Outlanders are foreigners, and Morrowind doesn't like foreigners. It's not bad here in Hlalu territory, but on the rest of Vvardenfell, folk are very cool to outlanders. Yes, this the South Wall. What? Yes, I'm Caius Cosades. But what do you mean you were told to report to Caius Cosades? What are you talking about? So you've been told to report to me and deliver a package. Perhaps you'll let me look at it. Yes, very interesting. So, it says here the Emperor wants me to make you a novice in the Blades. And that means you'll be following my orders. Are you ready to follow my orders? Good. Welcome to the service, novice. Now you belong to the Blades. We're the Emperor's eyes and ears in the provinces. You can use my bed if you need to rest, but leave my personal stuff alone unless I say otherwise. If you like, you can improve your modest skills with our Blades trainers now. Or if you're in a hurry, I can give you orders right away. But don't forget to visit the Blades trainers. These Blades agents offer training, not free, of course, but cheap for a fellow agent. Look for Rithleen, Tyre Malin, and Ninetoes here in Balmora. In Caldera, see Surain Leorian. In Aldrun, see Gildan. Siorvar Horsemouth lives in a hut west of Caldera, and Alone the Scout can be found at a Reel's trade house in Seydanin. Warrior Rithleen lives 2 houses south upstairs. Healer Tyrmelin lives 2 houses south downstairs. To get to Hunter Ninetoes, leave my door facing south. Go right, down the steps, then turn left and head south, looking for his door on your left. Mage Suran Leorian is in Caldera, the next town north. Her half-timber and stone house sits between the twin towers of the North Gate and the Governor's Hall. Nightblade Gildan lives in Aldrun, the Redoran district seat north of here, beyond Caldera. Gildan is in the southeast corner of town, in a house to the right of the steps up to the temple. Master-at-Arms Siorvar Horsemouth lives in a Guar herder's hut in the middle of nowhere west of Caldera. I've only been there once and couldn't give you directions. Go look for him if you feel like a little hike. Elone the Scout can usually be found at Aril's trade house in Seyd Anin. You know where that is. You arrived in Seyd Anin by boat. So, are you looking for orders, or did you have a question about the Blades trainers? First thing, Pilgrim, you're new, and you look it. Here's 200 drakes. Go get yourself a decent weapon, or armor, or a spell. And second thing, you need a cover identity. Around here, freelance adventurer is a common profession. Sign on with the Fighters Guild, or Mages Guild, or Imperial Cult, or Imperial Legion. Advance in the ranks, gain skill and experience, or go out on your own. Look for freelance work or trouble. Then when you're ready, come back, and I'll have orders for you. The Imperial Cult worships the 9 divines. The Aedra Akatosh, Dibella, Arche, Zenithar, Mara, Stendar, Kinnereth, and Julianos, and Tiber Septim, founder and patron of the Empire. In Morrowind, it's partly maintaining the faith for outlanders like us, and partly a missionary cult, bringing enlightenment to the heathen Dunmer. You can see Somutus Vunis at Fort Moonmoth to join, but you have to go to Ebonheart if you want to become a lay servant. Lay servants serve the Imperial Cult by doing various tasks. Not a lot of excitement, but safe, honorable, and rewarding. First, you have to join the Imperial Cult, then go to the Imperial Chapels in Ebonheart to get work. See Sinolian Tunifus to become a lay healer. See Eulus Trupter to become an almoner, a fundraiser. See Kay to become a shrine sergeant. They do the more dangerous jobs. You can always just wander around and ask for work. Hunt monsters and sell their hides, collect ingredients for alchemists, prey on bandits and smugglers, search ruins for loot. All you need are better skills and conditioning, and knowledge of Morrowind. And spend what you earn on equipment and training. Then come back a little less wet behind the ears, and I won't have to worry so much about you when I send you out on a mission. The Imperial Legion has several fort garrisons here on Vvardenfell. The lower ranks handle law enforcement, escorts, rescues, dangerous predators, diseased and blighted beasts, and so forth. Only one fort accepts recruits, Fort Darius in Genesis. Genesis is a frontier outpost, isolated, a little rough. But good experience. If you're interested, see General Darius in Genesis. It's a guild for the arcane arts, and it's where you go to find wizards for hire. Training, goods, and services are cheaper for members, and the guild stewards know where to find work. If you want to be a wizard, join and work your way up the ranks. The Mages Guild here is a better bet than the Fighters Guild. Ranis Athras is the guild steward, so talk to her if you want to join up. She's got a chip on her shoulder, but her apprentice, Ajira, seems okay for a Khajiit. The Fighters Guild is a professional organization chartered by the Emperor to regulate the hiring and training of mercenaries. Training, goods, and services are cheaper for members, and the guild stewards know where to find work. You'll have to start your service with Idis Fireeye, the Balmora Guild steward. She's new, and I don't know her well. Perseus Mercius, the Aldrun Guild steward, I know and trust, but he only handles higher-ranking assignments. How can I help you?
This account by the imperial scholar Agrippa Fundilius is based on various imperial and Dunmer sources and written for Western readers. The War of the First Council was a first-era religious conflict between the secular Dunmer houses Dwemer and Dagoth and the orthodox Dunmer houses Indoril, Redoran, Dres, Hlalu and House Telvanni. The First Council was the first pan-Dunmer governing body which collapsed over disputes about sorceries and enchantments practiced by the Dwemer and declared profane by the other houses. The secular houses, less numerous but politically and magically more advanced, and aided by Nord and Orc clans drawn by promise of land and booty, initially campaigned with great success in the north of Morrowind and occupied much of the land now comprising Redoran, Vvardenfell and Telvanni district. The Orthodox houses, widely dispersed and poorly organized, suffered defeat after defeat until Nerevar was made general of all house troops and levies. Nerevar secured the aid of nomad barbarian tribesmen and contrived to force a major battle at the secular stronghold of Red Mountain on Vvardenfell. The secular forces were outmaneuvered and defeated with the help of Ashlander's scouts, and the survivors forced to take refuge in the Dwemer stronghold at Red Mountain. After a brief siege, treason permitted Nerevar and his troops to enter the stronghold, where the secular leaders were slain and Nerevar mortally wounded. General slaughter followed, and houses Dwemer and Dagoth were exterminated. Nerevar died shortly thereafter of his wounds. 3 of Nerevar's associates among the Orthodox houses, Vivek, Almalexia, and Sothasil, succeeded to control of the recreated First Council, renamed the Grand Council of Morrowind, and went on to become the god-kings and immortal rulers of Morrowind, known as the Tribunal, or Almsivi.
What say you?
I will listen, Outlander, but make it quick.
Greetings, citizen. I'm Darissa Darvel. This town is Balmora, council seat of House Hlalu. We're loyal citizens of the Empire and proud of it. Well, most of us anyway. So, are you looking for someone in particular? Are you looking for services? Is there some specific place you'd like to visit? Would you like me to tell you about my trade? We've had peace and prosperity in Morrowind under the Empire for centuries. It's a government by law, and the legions enforce that law. The Empire has free trade and free religion, so we're rich in pockets and in spirit. Yes, there is corruption. Yes, there are crimes and criminals. Yes, the rich get richer and the poor poorer. But overall, things are pretty good. His house is in the middle row east of the River Odai. None of the Hlalu councillors live in Balmora. Nileno Dorvain at the council hall is the ranking Hlalu local. At the Fighters Guild, Idis Fireeye is the steward. Athasi Rilvain is the Morag Tong steward. Feldrello Sadri is the steward for the Balmora Tribunal Temple. Sugarlips Habasi is the local Thieves Guild boss. Who am I missing? Oh, Mages Guild. Ranas Athras is their steward. Speak, traveler.
The violent antipathy of Morrowind culture toward necromancy ensures that vampires are virtually unknown in Morrowind. The Temple does not acknowledge the existence of Western vampire hunting orders. Nonetheless, interviews with Temple officials persuade me that the Dunmer of Morrowind are experienced and knowledgeable in the handling of these menaces. On the other hand, they freely admit that even a large community of vampires might easily escape detection in the remote wastelands or in the subterranean labyrinths of abandoned strongholds and wizard towers. The Ash Vampire of Ashlander's legend is not undead. Sorceries and blessings affecting the undead reportedly have no effect on these creatures. No specimen has ever been examined, and no references have ever linked these legends with the known clans of Tamrielic vampires. Vvardenfell's 3 known bloodlines differ greatly in their approach to prey. The Quara bloodline features exceptional strength and endurance, and attacks in a state of ecstatic frenzy. Undead vampires are potent spellcasters, seeking to hypnotize victims before feeding, while the swift and agile clan Burn vampires prefer stealth and ambush, first poisoning the victim with a bite, then withdrawing to a safe distance, returning to feed only when the prey has weakened. It is supposed that vampirism is contracted from wounds received from a vampire. Since few victims survive vampiric attacks or feedings, the process of contracting the disease is little understood. Some have suggested that victims may willingly submit themselves to the will of a vampire, but no real evidence of this exists. During the incubation phase, lasting up to 72 hours, the vampirism disease exhibits no symptoms and may be cured by general spellcraft or cult blessings. However, during incubation, some victims have reported sleep disturbances and troubling dreams. After symptoms are exhibited, however, the disease is incurable and irreversible. No one, not the oldest Dunmer of Mount Dagoth-Ur or the ancient sage of solitude himself, can recall a time when the Orc did not ravage our fair Tamriel. Whatever foul and pestilent Daedra of oblivion conjured them up could scarcely have created a more constant threat to the well-being of the civilized races of Tamriel than the obnoxious Orc. Orcs are thankfully easy to recognize from other humanoids by their size, commonly 40 pertans in height and 15,000 angades in weight, their brutal pig-like features and their stench. They are consistently belligerent, morally grotesque, intellectually moronic and unclean. By all rights, the civilized races of Tamriel should have been able to purge the land of their blight eras ago, but their ferocity, animal cunning and curious tribal loyalty have made them inevitable as leeches in a stagnant pool. Tales of Orcish barbarity precede written record. When Jastiaga wrote of the Order of Diagnas joining the armies of Daggerfall and Sentinel to hold at bay the wicked Orcs in their foul Orsinium fastness and burn Ort in cleansing flame in 1 E950, she assumed that any reader would be aware of the savagery of the Orcs. When the siege was completed 30 years later, after the death of many heroes including Gaiden Shinji, and the destruction of Orsinium scattered the Orcish survivors throughout the Rothgarian mountains, she further wrote, "The free peoples rejoiced, for that their ancient fell enemy was dispersed into diverse parts." Obviously, the Orcs had been terrorizing the region of the Iliac Bay at least since the early years of the First Era. A is for Atronach, B is for Bungler's Bane, C is for Comberry.
Can you ask your question quickly? I must be going. Greetings, citizen. Welcome to Balmora. We're a House Lalu town and loyal citizens of the Empire. What can I do for you? Yes, this is the Fighters Guild. Idis FireEye is the steward. Talk to her if you're thinking of joining the Fighters Guild.
Well, speak up. What do you want? Are you here to join the Fighters Guild? You look like you could take care of yourself. Before I sign you up, you might want to look at the Fighters Guild charter. Are you ready to sign up now? Your duties are to your lords and brethren. In all ways, proceed with honor and valor. Keep a keen and watchful mind, and never succumb to the craven tricks of the weak. As a member, you are permitted to use items in our equipment chest. It is traitorous to fight or thieve from other members of your guild. If you break these rules, you must speak with at least a warder of the guild to redeem your standing. Do you feel you can uphold these simple ideals? You are now a Thieves Guild. Welcome, brother. Talk to me when you want some odd jobs to do, and when you think you're ready for advancement. If you have a price on your head, there are those you can talk to as well. Your talents are noteworthy, but some question your depth of devotion. Perform more duties for the Fighters Guild, and you will earn your place. I have a very simple contract to end an infestation of cave rats. You might be able to handle it. Go to Vvardenfell's house. It's here in Balmora, along the river on the east side. Ask her where the rats are coming from. Kill the rats, and get your payment from Vvardenfell. Report back to me once you've taken care of this. You'll find basic supplies: arrows, bolts, healing potions. If you need more healing than that, head to the temple. We're able to resupply the chest once in a while, but don't count on it. What is your rank? Associate. Then my services are not for you, not yet. Speak up!
Do you have something to say, Breton? Welcome, adventurer. Looking for an equalizer? Something to give you an edge against a superior opponent? When you need to do a lot of damage in a hurry, you can't beat a poisoned blade. Try my inexpensive iron spider dagger and steel spider blade, or an imperial netch blade for even more bite.
Yes, what is it? Oh, Outlander.
Welcome,
Did you want
adventurer.
something?
Looking for an equalizer? Something to give you an edge against a superior opponent? When you need to do a lot of damage in a hurry, you can't beat a poisoned blade. Try my inexpensive iron spider dagger and steel spider blade, or an imperial netch blade for even more bite. You've got my ear, let's hear it.
Was it the latest rumors you were looking for? If the guild steward here in Balmora is Idis.
Yes?
Greetings, citizen. I'm Flaenia Amulusis. This town is Balmora, council seat of House Hlalu. We're loyal citizens of the Empire and proud of it. Well, most of us anyway. So, are you looking for someone in particular? Are you looking for services? Is there some specific...
I am Hasfat Antabolis, drill master for the Balmora Fighters Guild. I offer training to the public, and at a considerable discount. Your duties are to your lords and brethren. In all ways, proceed with honor and valor. Keep a keen and watchful mind, and never succumb to the craven tricks of the weak. It is traitorous to fight or thieve from other members of your guild. If you break these rules, you must speak with at least a warder of the guild to redeem your standing. The guild steward here in Balmora is Idis Fire. What can be said? We are the few, the proud, the underpaid, har har har.
Yes.
One. Purpose. The Guild of Fighters provides employment to free swords and mercenaries and contracts to local citizens. Citizens may contract with the Guild for the removal of creatures and pests, the delivery of goods on dangerous routes, the collection of beasts for the arenas, and other duties defined by the Guild stewards. 2. Authority. The Guild of Fighters was established under the Section 4 of the Guilds Act, and this charter was first confirmed under the potentate Versidue Shea in the 321st year of the Second Era. 3. Rules and procedures. Any member of the Guild of Fighters who strikes or steals from another member shall be expelled from the Guild. Readmittance is at the discretion of the Guild stewards. Citizens who contract with the Guild of Fighters and have a dispute may appeal first to the Guild steward who accepted the contract and second with the authorities of each province. 4. Membership requirements. The Guild selects candidates who are strong and healthy. A candidate must have some proficiency with long blades, axes, blunt weapons, and shields. Guildsmen must be able to use and maintain heavy armor. 5. Applications for membership candidates must present themselves to the steward of the Guild Hall for examination and approval. Attachment. A. Fighters Guild. Chapters in Vvardenfell District, Province of Morrowind. Chapters are established in guild-owned, freestanding guild halls in the towns of Uldrun and Balmora. The chapter in Sadrith Mora is established in Wolverine Hall under lease from the Telvanni Council. The chapter in Vivec is established in the Foreign Quarter under lease from the Tribunal Temple.
Welcome, friend.
Anything you wish. You know I like you and want to help. In fact, with a good friend like you, I might even be persuaded to gossip about a little secret. Buy from merchants and traders who like you. You get better prices. Members of your own factions usually like you best.
If I can help, I will, but don't take too much time.
Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time. Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time. Speak, traveler. Quickly, Outlander. I haven't much time.
Are you the one they sent to take care of the cave rats? These rats are such a nuisance. I'm worried they'll eat all of my pillows. You like pillows, don't you? Anyway, I've got one trapped in my bedroom here, and the other two are in my storage area upstairs. Rats, that is, not pillows. Here's the key for that door. There are at least 3 of these beasts. I hope they haven't gotten into my good pillows. Speak, traveler. Are you the one they sent to take care of? These rats are such a nuisance. It's good of you to stop by. Always happy to see you. Were you looking for a little advice? Or is there something else in Balmora you want to ask about? Are you going to kill those cave rats for me? Are you going to kill those cave rats for me? Speak quickly, Outlander, or go away. Good to see you again. Please, whenever you're in Balmora, feel free to stop by. Now, what can I do? There's someone watching me. I can tell.